Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sunday night is Organ Music Night. And tonight's is entitled Organ Legends and Stories. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean, but I dare say as the evening progresses, we will find out. Started off with a hymn there, Freue dich Himmel, freue dich Erde, which just means rejoice to the heavens, rejoice on earth, that kind of thing. A rather lovely hymn all about creation. There you are. Lovely hymn all about creation. And there will be another lovely hymn all about creation coming up very shortly. I hope you're all fine. I hope you're all doing well. We had a wonderful tuba concert last night. Those of you who were involved in the tuba world, we had great fun. It turned into a harmony lesson and how to learn a piece of music lesson. It wasn't really intended that way, but that's just the way it turned up. Brilliant. That's the way it turned out. And it was great fun. And I was very impressed with myself, believe it or not, because I actually learnt a new piece of music. Well, kind of. I learnt the backbone of a new piece of music, which I will flesh out until we have the piece of music in question ready to go. That's going to be a good one as well. So let's not say any more about it now. It'll be a surprise when it comes to those who weren't there in the tuba land last night. Fun. Right, organ legends. Let's start with one of my favorite organ legends of them all. Actually, that's the wrong piece of music. So it's the right person, it's the right composer, it's just the wrong piece. Preparation is the name of the game. This is what happens when you delegate. See, don't delegate. Do everything yourself, it turns out. Well, anyway, let's stick with the same guy. I've played this piece of music a million times, so there's every chance that I might get some of the right notes in the right order tonight. So we shall see. It's one of the best and most underrated legends of the organ history world there is. Mr. Louis James, not Jacques Louis James, Alfred Lefébure-Wély, who was a monstrously eccentric French composer. He was the organist in Saint-Sulpice in Gay Paris back in the mid 1800s. He died in 1869, and in case you're watching, you copyright bastards, this piece of music is definitely copyright free. This is definitely the public domain. If you even think about copyright claiming it, I will come around there and punch you in the throat. This happens every time I play music by Lefébure-Wély. Some organist I won't mention any names, but some organist claims that I am playing her recordings. Which obviously I'm not. I'm playing live on my own instrument. But anyway, let's see what happens tonight. This is a favorite we've had various times before. It's the Bolero de concert, the concert bolero. And if you want to get up and do a bolero dance, then feel free. That's a grand old romp, isn't it? I love that. Opus 166 is exactly right, Jez. You're exactly right. A wonderful piece of music to play. It's actually written for harmonium. It's not even written for the organ. So you sort of arrange it. And this is something I love arguing with organists about. Oh, you didn't play it the way it was written. Well, no, because it was written to be played on a harmonium, and I'm playing a 4-manual organ. Actually, I'm not. I'm playing a 3-manual organ in a German church. So I'm obviously registering it as such. But yes, you have to arrange it. What are you going to do with your pedals? Let's add some pedals in different places. Let's change the octaves here, change the octaves there, do various things. Have fun with it, arrange it. Lefébure-Wély was one of the first famous improvisers in the French church. And he would have been quite happy with that. He would never have played that piece the same way twice. And this is something everybody forgets nowadays. Everybody takes everything, if it's written on a piece of paper, then it has to be played like that. The perfect example is César Franck and his music. César Franck was incredibly scatty, to use a nice old word, and he just scribbled anything down on paper. There was nothing like what he actually played himself. People who were around at the time and could sort of, put these things in their diary. What was written on the page was nothing like what he was actually playing. He was fleshing out the notes and filling out chords and improvising passages and things like that. So nowadays when we play his music, everyone is very, oh, but in this bar he has this and in that bar it's that. They said, well, yeah, probably because he wrote it wrong. What he meant was probably the same, but did he mean that one or that one? And so on and so on and so on. So you have to interpret these things. And in years gone by, legends of the organ world, see, I can make anything work. Legends of the organ world, definitely, there it is. That's a piece of music I was looking for. There it is. Let's play that immediately then. If I can find it. It's in here somewhere. There it is. It's, yeah, legend of the organ world, Old-fashioned organ legends would definitely have been ready to improvise around on things and have fun with them. Nowadays, however, no, people are too scared. They're too scared. Right now, I need to get rid of that, but I need that. Yeah, this is more like it. This is much more like it. Can I do 3-2 as well? Theoretically, hold on, check this out. I've got a lovely refreshing drink today. This is not the usual. This is a wonderful British tradition that a wonderful British tradition. If you're coming down with anything in the winter, you drink gallons of that a day and you remain healthy, apparently. Simple as that. Right, I want that, and I want that, and I want that. Maybe I want that as well. Shall we go overboard? Yeah, let's go overboard. I want to go overboard with this one. So let's go overboard with this. And I think we'll do that. And we'll have that. And we'll definitely have that because we need a big... Yes, we need big sounds. But we don't want any of that. So let's get rid of that. And we want the biggest... The biggest flutes we can find. Right, this is another piece of music by Ribena, that's the one. Ribena. My goodness me. Cranberry juice. No, definitely not cranberry juice. It's Ribena. R-I-B-E-N-A to spell it. Ribena, and it's a black currant. I suppose it's a cordial, but it's fortified with sugar, basically. But no, fortified with lots of vitamin C. It's wonderful. It's absolutely gloriously gorgeous. Thick, gloopy, syrupy stuff that you dilute down. And I think this is probably my 4th litre of it today. I love it. I ordered some online the other day and several bottles arrived. And they will be gone within the next few days because I live on this stuff. I love it. Anyway, there you are. Useless information. Back to Lefébure-Wély, and we're going to have an entire orchestra, not just a choir. An orchestra of Vox Humana. Now I've added some strings. Well, actually, let me remove the strings and see what that sounds like. No, we definitely, actually we could just have, that's just Vox Humana. Nah, we definitely want that. I think we'll get rid of that though. And we'll have them strings again. Shall we have all the strings? Too much, man, too much. That's what it's going to be. Right. So the piece of music we're about to play is called the Choir of Vox Humana, plural, and accompanied by a cheeky flute. That kind of thing, a cheeky flute, okay? And the idea here is we're playing a melody in our left thumb, okay? Dee, da, dee, da, da, dee, da, 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 dee, dee. Okay, it's a rather lovely melody, but the thing is you're playing underneath that melody lots of chords as well. I can show you, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. Ta-da. So I've got this on this manual, so we did some of this last night. We were doing some fun sort of, organ theory kind of stuff. And this is what you have to do. So the left hand has a melody, da, da, dee, 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 but at the same time it has chords underneath it, okay? So you can, see this? I'm substituting a finger there, but if I substitute that finger, it doesn't really help because I've got to get to there. Yeah, so I'm just going to, see this? I'm going to use my thumb and slide. And I'm going to do it again. Haha. So this is French organ technique, okay? And it's perfectly acceptable to do this. Legato, just using my thumb. Isn't that fun? Dee, da, da, tee, 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 tee. Okay, and the idea is to keep that melody da, 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 as legato as you possibly can. It's not that easy to do actually, but you can sort of swap around some fingers on the way past as well. I hope that makes sense. Let's swap the camera angle so you can see exactly what's going on. I've got feet there, I've got hands here, and I have a face here should you wish to see it. I'll keep the face away and you can admire my stomach as well. There you are. The Choir of Vox Humana. Something like that. Something like that. The choir of Vox Humana. That's quite cute, isn't it? It's a lovely sound. This is the organ of Landa down in the southwest of Germany. And it's got the most amazing Vox Humana sounds. Sort of in a separate division. So you have all your strings, swell strings, and choir strings. And all of those coupled together. And then we have these things called an echo bourdon or bourdon, actually, an echo bourdon, and a Vox Humana. They on their own are gorgeous, which we've just heard, but all coupled together, all the strings and all the Vox Humanas. Okay. Now at the moment the Vox Humanas are all boxed up in a box, and if I open that box and let them out, isn't that lovely? Now I can add some strings, these strings here, I can add them an octave higher as well. Which is absolutely lovely. Then I can add all of this as well. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? There you are. A legend of the organ world would be this organ's Vox Humana string sound. Which I think is so gorgeous. It sounds almost like the Wanamaker organ in Philadelphia. Oh, but it's going to close down and we're never going to hear it again. Oh, shut up. None of that is true. The organ will be heard more than it has ever been heard before because the organ was being kept quiet by the people of Macy's who didn't want the organ to sing that much. What am I looking for? Oh yes, they didn't want the organ to be playing that much because that's not right. Small children downstairs making loud noises. The people in Macy's didn't want the organ to sound all that much, and they were annoyed when people would come into the store, just stand around and listen to the organ and not buy anything. And they were campaigning to get it quietened or to be played less. And now that they've gone at the end of March, the organ will be heard more than ever before. Wonderful. And yes, I do plan a visit to Philadelphia one of these days. Oh yes. The invitation is there and it's going to happen. Now, everything this evening up to now has been a kind of dancey thing. We've had a bolero. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, chum chum. And then we had which is just basically a slow waltz, I suppose. And this thing here is no different. It's a lovely hymn in the back of the hymn book here, number 885. It's called Glauben können wie du. So, oh, if I could believe like you, or something along those lines. And it's a lovely dancey hymn. Check this one out. Grab your partners by the, wherever you want to grab your partners. Valentine's Day was the other day, so you probably did grabbing of partners the other night. So yes, that's it for the rest of the year, I suppose. love the acoustic of that church. This is definitely one of the best sampled Grabowski organs we have. Just that. I love it. You can feel it sort of reverb around the church and then come back at you. It just grabs you. It's very authentic. Well, it's the real acoustic. It's just been recorded. But I know the church very well, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's great fun indeed. Cam Platt says, what does Cam Platt say? Let's get Fraser to Philadelphia. But how? Buying a virtual ticket is a good start. A. And the A is, of course, because Cam is from Toronto, well, around the Toronto area originally. He now lives in the Washington area, but he is originally a Canada boy. A. I love that. It was from Family Guy, wasn't it? Where they were taking the mickey out of Canadians by adding A at the end of absolutely everything. A, which is wonderful. Anyway, yes, I haven't been to Canada for hundreds of years. It's about time I did, and I've only ever been to Philadelphia Airport, so it's about time I got into town. So yes, you're right. Yes, there was a joke about Canada. They didn't want they were getting annoyed at the independence of Canada over the years. And they wanted to play a practical joke on them, and they said, "Well, no vowels allowed in Canada, so we're gonna write it down. They only get 3 letters: C, N, D. That's it. They're just called C and D from now on." So they went to, let's just say Toronto, and they said to the guy, "Okay, ready? This is how we're gonna spell Canada from now on: C, A, N, A, D, A." Get it. Anyway, never mind. Right, that's one of my only Canadian jokes. Cam, we need some more Canadian jokes. Have you got any more? Now, here's another wonderful piece of music. Now, I got to play this the other day. I had to play for a funeral the other day. These things happen if you're an organist. You don't just get to play for weddings and christenings and masses and other things. You occasionally have to play for funerals, which is a terrible shame in every case. And on Friday, it was the funeral of a wonderful old lady who sang in one of my church choirs. She hadn't been singing in the choir for a couple of years because she claimed her voice was not what it used to be. I kept on at her and said, "You stay in the choir." But she didn't want to. She was losing her hearing. She didn't want to. So she went. But she was one of the funniest people in that village. She was hilariously funny. She had a wonderful, wicked sense of humor. And amazingly, for that, shall we say, generation of person from that kind of village in the middle of nowhere, Germany, basically, she was incredibly open-minded about everything. She was very open-minded about music. Her grandchildren, many of them, there are lots of them around, grandchildren were into really sort of weird and wonderful German rap and weird way out music, and Granny loved German rap, believe it or not, which I think is amazing. Sort of an 88-year-old, the sweetest old granny you'd ever seen, sort of bopping around to German rap, which is, yeah, it's an acquired taste, but she was into every kind of music. When I used to come up with things for the choir, I would come up with international music, and I would always get, people would turn it, and I said to them, "Right, we're going to learn a new piece of music now. It's in English, but don't worry, I can help you with the English." And they would all go on strike, but she would be the one saying, "Oh, shut up, the lot of you. Let's sit down and do this. This is fun." And of course, because she said it, she was also one of the oldest around. Then everyone sort of just accepted it, and we got on with it. It was wonderful. Wonderfully funny person, wonderful sense of humor, and you could see it. She had a cheeky face. You could see the sense of humor in her face all the time. Wonderful person. And at the funeral on Friday, I got to play this hymn, and oh my goodness, it got the church going. It was very much not a dry seat in it's a dry eye, sorry, in the house. It was very much did the job, shall we say? Much sniffling after this one, and it's a very famous piece of music indeed. It's based on something called the Irish Blessing. Isn't that a lovely melody? It's so simple, it's so sort of nice and refreshing, but at the same time it's a very sort of heartfelt, sad thing. The last verse is absolutely lovely. It says, until we meet again. It's all that kind of stuff. I hope that God will not leave you behind, hold you close in his hands, all that kind of stuff. It's rather lovely. It's absolutely lovely stuff. Right, let's have a little say hello. Actually, I can do it here, can't I? Let's say, we haven't done this for a few weeks. Let's say hello to everyone in the chat. And we'll go back a bit and see how everyone is doing. This is my psychological break, so I think what to do next, you see. Oh, I'm letting you into all my secrets here. Per is here. Per Tjernström is here. Good evening. I like improvisation. Eat my bread, for example. I'm not sure what that's all about. Bodensehorn is here. Good evening to you, good sir. Mike King is here. Razbaz is here. Hi, Razbaz. I was chatting to Cassie today. He was helping me with some intro. Oh, Cassie's here as well. Splendid. Hi, Razbaz, and hi, Cassie. And thank you, Cassie, for helping me out with my weird virtual network problems. It still hasn't been solved, by the way, so I have no idea what that's all about. I need to dig deeper. Max is here. Hi, Max. Marketa is here. Jürgen is here. Good evening, Jürgen. Cam is here. Of course you are, A. There's Cassie again. Hi there. Urza is here. Lucian is here. Good evening to you, good sir. If music had to be played exactly the way it was written, we could program a machine to play it. Have you heard modern performers? I think they are machines. That's subject for a chat at some point. A lot of modern players have had the soul removed from them. They're like Data from Star Trek: The Next Generation. They are there, they can technically do everything, but they have absolutely no musical emotion whatsoever. It's really, really weird, and it's very worrying as well, but never mind, anyway. Urza is here, of course you are. Hello. Alexander Wunderlich is here. Good evening to you. Oh, by the way, don't go away, because at midnight it's Alexander's birthday. Yes, it's Alexander's birthday tomorrow, and he won't mind me telling you, he's going to be a little bit older than me tomorrow. He's going to be 55. So it's Alexander's. So hang around for another 1 hour and 5 minutes, if you don't mind. And then we're going to sing happy birthday to Alexander. So get ready for that. Good evening, Alexander. Robert is here. Hello, Robert. How are things in New Jersey? Ian Lavery is here. Hi, Ian. In Lacrimis Finiet. Sorry, that's Jeff, by the way. Jeff's here as well. Tim is here. Hi, Tim. Who else is here? There's an awful lot of people chatting together. Julian GC is here from Shreveport, Louisiana. Splendid. Who else is here? There's the Goodsons again. There must be some more people. It's all the same people in the chat. Is anyone else here? Surely, surely, surely. Canadian, says Rasbaz. Yes, nice one. Gotcha. Are there no new people in the chat? There's Adrian. Adrian Morris is here. Hi, Adrian. Good evening to London town. Gerhard Flink is here. Here we go. We've got some names now. That's good. Lovely to see you. Simone Alfani is here. Hello. Buonasera, Simone. David is here. Good evening to you in Romania. František is, of course, here. Hello. Good evening to you. Karim is here from Istanbul. Lovely. We're very international tonight. Celeste Jameson is here as well. Good evening, Celeste. How are you doing? And Celeste joined us on Friday night. It wasn't the first time. I had a look back. You've been around before, but welcome back. Lovely to see you. There's John Cranky as well. Lovely to see you too. Andrew Bazuki is here. There's the Yellow Bird as well. Ian Walker is here. Steve Caddy. Joe is here. Hey, says Joe. Hey. Joe's been cool tonight. That's fine. Good for you. Right, are we down at the bottom? Gregory Allen is here. Thomas McDonald is here. Do we recognize that name? Have you been here before, Mr. McD? Patrick Lefrancois, singer. Patrick from Calpe in Spain. Oh, lovely. International stuff all the way. There's David from the Canadian. David again. Splendid. John Drake is also here from Ohio. And there's the Super Tato Bundy Row Lucy as well. Good evening, everybody. Right, there we are. We've got you all. If you're in the chat business, come in and say hello. Come in and say hello. And while you're getting ready to say hello, do what Cam says and buy a ticket, like the following people Who has bought a ticket here? Who dat? Actually, that was Jörg, our friend Jörg from Switzerland, bought a ticket for yesterday. As did Alexander, which is very kind of you. Thank you very much. Here's Stefan. Thank you, Stefan. Now, who have we got here? Here's Alexander for tonight. My goodness, thank you very much, Alexander, for tonight. Alexander's a very generous guy. Here's Lucian for tonight. Here's Ian for tonight. And here's Jerry for tonight. Thank you very much indeed. And here is Gabor as well. There we are. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tickets tonight so far. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Keep them coming. Don't forget, the goose is getting fat and all that sort of stuff. Oh, that's a nice request. Right, what's that? I have no idea what this is. Well, let's pop it on the machine and see what it says. We'll come back to that. Now, over on the, oh my goodness, over here, what's happening? The wish list has done something over here. Oh, it's not just the wish list. Cassie has bought a ticket too. Thank you very much, my good friend. And the Platz gang have also, oh, thank you very much indeed. The Platz gang have been chipping in as well. Now, the thing that the Platz gang have chipped in for, I actually bought already because, they wrote it, I hope it improves your memory. It's one of these things, one of these wonderful little disky things, and there was a very, very special offer on. I grabbed it immediately, but it hasn't been paid for yet. So there you are. So if you're interested in helping out, you know what to do. There you are. Thank you very much indeed. You can never have enough memory, it turns out. Computer memory. This kind of memory up here, forget it. There's none of that going around. Joe Humans, a ticket from Joe Humans. Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Oh, a cough has arrived. Right, thank you very much indeed. We're moving forwards. And we're not going to play any Lefébure-Wély next. We're going to play, oh my goodness, we're definitely not going to play that. Here we go. Now this is weird. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's something to do with an organ legend again. Okay, now what do we need here? We need a very interesting, can I even do it on this organ? I think I can. Yes, I can. We can do it with this. Right, we need a very interesting registration. And I think, actually, let's really make it interesting by doing this. Yeah, let's do it like that. That's a very weird one. And I think we'll have this down on this manual. Okay, now, very bizarre piece of music. If you know it, and if you know the composer, pop it in the old chit chat there. Otherwise, sit back and hopefully enjoy. Did anybody get that? Robert said, sounds like Bach. Definitely not. Far too modern for Bach. That's very, very simple. You wouldn't expect simple music like that to come from this composer. The composer in question is, like I say, a legend of the organ world. Another French legend of the organ world. A composer I actually don't play anything. Well, that's not true, actually. I don't play much by this composer, basically because it's far too bloody difficult. If I play part of one of his fugues, you'll know who I'm talking about. That was a very simple piece of music by Mr. Marcel Dupré, believe it or not. And it was the Ave, it wasn't the Ave Verum Corpus, it was the Alma Redemptoris Mater. A very simple brief, a short prelude, not brief, a short prelude on Gregorian themes. A tiny little book by Marcel Dupré, manuals only, very simple, manuals only. But at the same time, to play them all properly, like typical Dupré, it's all very much in the little details. So all the legato stuff and what's not to be held and what should be held and so on and so on and so on. So there you are. So yeah, you're all saying Poulenc, Messiaen, Vidor. No, it was Dupré, Marcel Dupré. Marcel Dupré had enormous hands. There are some videos of him playing on YouTube as an old man and also as a slightly younger man. Oh, that's the wrong button. That's the one I wanted to press. Marcel Dupré. Now, some people, there's an octave, okay? Okay? There's an octave, so 9, 10, or the 10 there if you want, right? Now, I can comfortably do that, okay? I can comfortably get 10, okay? Marcel Dupré could comfortably get 10, 11, 12, 13. Same as Rachmaninoff, same as Fats Waller. Can you believe that? In one hand. Yeah? Absolutely enormous hands. Absolutely enormous. There are some compositions by him where he just plants, you know, a chord, this chord, in one hand. So I'm missing an entire note. Yeah? In one hand. Guy was crazy. There's a lot of tenths in his music. Yeah, some of these tenths are easy to reach, like that one or maybe that one. Yeah, you know, they're okay. They're reachable for me. A lot of people can't even get a comfy tenth like that. And it's yeah, it's a shame because it means they're missing out on all this kind of music. Who does? Mike, thank you very much, Mike. Thank you very much, Mike. And who does? Celeste again. Thank you very much indeed. Very kind. Thank you very much. 2 new tickets. Thank you very much. Keep them coming. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So those are the 8 preludes, Opus 45 by Mr. Marcel Dupré. And I will actually be looking at more of them in the future. Now, while we're on the subject of bizarre composers, let's check out, oh, damn it, what did I do there? Damn it, Janet, what did I do there? Right, I did something weird. I wonder, would any of you recognize this composer? I bet you won't. Let me see if I can find something that you definitely won't recognize. Let's do this one. This is really weird, okay? Let's try this. This is weird. Now, we need some fluty stuff. Let's have some fluty stuff. Let's have lots of fluty stuff there. We need some of that here. You definitely need some of that. And we need, what do we need here? We need a soft flute and there. Yeah, that's what we need there. And then down here on the old pedal, we need something very gentle. So I think we'll just go. That might be too gentle, but let's see if we can get away with that. Right, this is a very bizarre piece of music. B flat minor. Oh, Robert says Anton Webern. Yeah, we're almost as bizarre as that. Not quite, but almost. If any of you get this, I would be very, very, very impressed. I'll give you a clue. He was French. While I was playing that, you were talking about vegetables, which seems rather bizarre. Right, let's see if anyone worked this out. Let's see if anyone could work this one out. Anton Weber said Robert. There we are. I spotted that before. David says François d'Agincourt or Charpentier. Nope. Stop talking about food, people. You should be concentrating on the music. Marketa is talking about someone said, oh, that's your roommate studying Japanese, and the big thing is from Japan. We call it whatever that is. Yes. Good evening to Erie, if Erie is watching us. We haven't seen Erie for a long time. Right, and did nobody even guess who that was? Obviously, you didn't like that piece of music because nobody was guessing. Nope, nobody was guessing at all. Anyone? Jeff said, thank God somebody was listening. It's the sort of piece Alcan would write. Ooh, no, definitely not. Joe Humans, Esqueche. Nope. Lily Boulanger. Nope. Charles Tournemire. Close. Anyone? It was actually Henri Moulet. Everyone knows Moulet for the... Everyone knows that kind of stuff, yes? Or... that kind of stuff. It's all beautiful music. That's Moulet. Everybody knows that kind of stuff. But that was a very, very bizarre piece of music called, and I'm not joking, it was called The Chapel of Death, which sounds much nicer in French, believe it or not. But yeah, that was The Chapel of Death. Everybody knows the famous one by Moulet, which is that crazy toccata, which is cinema organ music. I don't care what anyone said. I've never played this properly. No, somebody does. What's that? What the hell is that? Whoa. And then the pedal comes in and does all that kind of stuff. That's a wonderful... I've never learned that. Never learned it. It is... Is it sight readable? Obviously not, because I just cocked up those weird and wonderful chords there. But it's like the piece of music we looked at last night. I'm going to do this from time to time. We're going to start learning music together. And I'm going to take you through the score. We're going to analyze the piece of music. I'm going to show you how easy or how difficult it is to learn it and why. And then I'm going to go and learn it and do it. But this is actually, it's not as difficult as it sounds, that piece of music. It's another one of those sort of toccata things where it would help. I think it would probably help if you had Parkinson's, you know. What you're actually doing is chump, 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 chump. That kind of stuff, yeah? Ooh, yeah. And there's lots of and it sounds like it's the villain tying the girl to the train tracks, isn't it? It's that kind of stuff, yeah. And the pedals, ta ta ta. Ian Walker, lots of Bach to look forward to then. Nope, none whatsoever. There are a million organists in the world who can play Bach a million times better than me, and I'm not going to bother my backside joining that list. I can sight read things like that all day long, and I can spend months trying to learn a piece of music by Bach, and it still won't sound good. So no, is the simple answer to that. No. I was once rather rude about an organist, and I said, there are hundreds of organists in the world who play Bach, and is one of them, the person I was introducing. That's quite a cheeky thing to do, wasn't it? That was a very cheeky thing to do. I shouldn't have done that. It wasn't very nice. Now, legends of the organ world. Yes, legends of the organ world. We must, if we're doing legends of the organ world, must talk about Mr. Virgil Fox. Virgil Fox was an amazing organist, no doubt. He was, a lot of people liked Virgil Fox, a lot of people disliked Virgil Fox, but whatever your opinion on the man is, he did an incredible amount for the organ world back in the 60s, 70s and into the 80s. He made the organ a popular instrument again. He took it from this bizarre little niche instrument that it always was and made it a mass popular instrument. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely, absolutely wonderful. Virgil Fox is a man, by the way, not a cinema. We'll maybe look at the Virgil Fox, the Wurlitzer Fox later. No, Virgil Fox was definitely a man, and an absolutely phenomenally talented one at that. But more important than that, he was an entertainer more than anything else. And he took the world of organ music to the masses all around the world. If it wasn't for Virgil Fox, I don't think there would be as much of an organ scene in this day and age as there should be. After Virgil Fox, there was a guy called Carlo Curley who was around, and Carlo moved to Britain. Carlo was also American, but he moved to Britain, and I think that was Carlo's mistake. I think if he'd stayed in America, he would have been as big as Virgil Fox. But he moved to the UK, huge in the UK, huge in all directions actually. He was an enormous guy, the fat swaller of the organ, literally. He went on a massive diet towards the end of his life. He went on the Atkins diet. Carlo Curley was huge. He was like 2 meters tall, like 6'4", 6'6" or something. He was an enormous guy, huge feet, enormous hands, and he was big. My God, there was a lot of him, and he was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And everyone said, right, you definitely need to go on a diet, or it's going to be curtains, my friend. So he went on the Atkins diet, and he lost he lost an entire human being's worth of weight. I think he lost something like 60 kilograms, 120 pounds, 130 pounds. He lost an awful lot of weight, and he really looked good at the end. Sadly, he had heart trouble as well, and he didn't last all that much longer. Sadly, he died quite a while ago now, actually. Must be getting on for 20 years. Absolutely wonderful. But one of the nicest anecdotes about Carlo Curley is, I knew Carlo quite well back in the day, and I remember calling him up one day after the diet had started, and I said, Carlo, how's the diet going? And he said, darling, he was very camp. I'll give him that. Very, very camp. He was over the top camp, one of those kinds of guys. And he said, darling, I've just had a shit the size of Belgium. Just having to picture, well, first of all, Carlo Curley saying something like that, and then picturing what he just said, it just made it was absolutely hilarious. And I said, good, so the diet's going well. He said, it's frightening, it's going frighteningly well. He said, I'm losing the pounds, but I'm not losing them externally, they're just falling out of me, literally. And yes, anyway, and Carlo was kind of a prodigy of Virgil Fox, yeah, and he was going to sort of take over the mantle from Virgil Fox, and he did to a certain extent, but he definitely wasn't the Virgil Fox. Now, Virgil was a great entertainer, like I said, and there are recordings of him, you can see them on YouTube, where he's playing with like the Boston Pops Orchestra and things like that, and then he gets, at the end of the concert, he played. And I'm not going to play it because I can't play it, but the Jig Fugue by Bach, that was always his thing. And he would sit at the organ and he would be dancing and singing along, and he'd be screaming at the audience to dance, and he'd be waving his arms around like a lasso, that kind of thing. And the people in the audience, would be dancing in the aisles. There are classical concerts where you were playing this, and people would get up and dance. And can you imagine going to an organ concert in this day and age, and the organist play? Well, first of all, the organist playing the Jig Fugue would probably. They probably wouldn't in Protégé, of course. They wouldn't have put any. They wouldn't put any feeling into it because they can't. It's been surgically removed from them. And God help them, they should entertain an audience. Good heavens, no, no. But could you imagine that happening in this day and age and people actually dancing along to that? 20 odd years ago, 25 years ago now, when Olivier Latry came to Bonn to play his concert, it was on the 11th of November, which is the beginning of the carnival season in Germany. And he played the concert, and at the end he played the he played that. And because it was carnival season, people were sort of in the mood for it, and he was sort of egging people on as he was playing. He was looking into the camera and getting them all excited. And some people actually in the church did get up and start dancing about, which I think is absolutely wonderful. Something else Virgil Fox was not afraid to do was to sit at the organ and play music like this. And this is what made him even better in my mind. Hold on, I need to find it. This is what made him even better in my mind. He would quite happily sit down at a classical organ, a classical concert, and when it came to encore time, he would play his yum-ti-tum-ti-tum-ti-tum-ti-ta-ti-ta-ti-tum, and everyone would be really in the mood. And then once they were in the mood, he would sit down and play this. And he would say, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to dance the foxtrot, take your partners, please. See you on the other side. And he would leap into. Yeah, he would do things like that and get the audiences going. T for 2, well spotted. Who spotted that? Someone spotted T for 2. Who spotted T for 2? Somebody did. Yeah, Julian did. Well done. Yes, T for 2 in the style of Virgil Fox. There's videos of him on YouTube playing T for 2. There's actually a wonderful video of him playing in a television studio on an electronic organ. And while he's playing T for 2, He's playing Tifa too. Liberace is dancing. I'm not joking. Virgil Fox is playing Tifa 2 and Liberace is tap dancing to it. It's the campest thing you've ever seen in your life. Yeah, marvelously over the top. But those were the days, I suppose. Ladies and gentlemen, the last person to buy a ticket well over half an hour ago was Celeste. So keep coming, ladies and gentlemen, keep them coming. Don't forget, the goose is getting thin. And we've got half an hour to go for Alexander's birthday. So yes, lots to go, lots to go. Lots to go. Yeah, I highly recommend you go and check out that video of Virgil Fox and Liberace together. It's frighteningly good. Frighteningly good. Right, now, something else that it's entirely possible to do, and this is actually, I'm going to give you a brief, I'm going to play two pieces of music that I kind of like playing, and I link this to an old Scottish organist. He's not necessarily one of the legends in the organ world, but he's a legend in my organ world. It's an old Scottish organist called Gerald Shaw. Gerald Shaw was a very plummy speaking. He was a kind of like what's his name? Chick Murray. He was kind of like the Chick Murray of the organ world. He was very very plummy in the way he spoke. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful musician, absolutely wonderful musician, great sense of humor, and he could play it all. He could play the classics, he could play the jazzies, he could play the cheesies, he could play the novelties, he could play absolutely everything, absolutely wonderful. And he's the guy that introduced me to a piece of music that I love playing. I don't think it's registered for this organ, so we may very quickly have to go and change organs here. What organ do I have it registered for? Is a good question. Is a very good question. Let's quickly change to Alessandria. I think it's on Alessandria. I will speak to you briefly as an anecdote style while it's loading. This, by the way, is why I like to invest in these things. Very fast memory sticks, very fast NVMe drives. It makes loading the organs here, it makes it much, much faster. And the more modern Hauptwerk gets, the better it is at doing these things. Liberace and Victor Borge would be very frightening. That would be a good combination. There are videos of the two of them together as well. I would say most people would be safe with Victor Borge. I wouldn't say the same about Liberace. But never mind. The good old days, eh? Anyway, right, do I have it on here? I hope I do. Yes, it is. There it is. I knew it was here. Ha! Right, let me just double check. We need to check the keys. There we are. That'll do. And then, where are we going for this? We're going there, and then we're going back there, and then we're going full on, and then we're going back to... and then finishing with that. Okay, good, right. One of my favorite pieces of music, it's just quite simply called Harlem. And it's debatable whether it was recorded in G minor or A flat minor. Very debatable. It depends what tape you're listening to of Gerald Shaw playing. I like playing it in A flat minor. I just think it sounds much more... Check this out, that's G minor. That's a nice key, but A flat minor sounds so much nicer, doesn't it? Okay, Harlem. Harlem, I love Harlem. Cue the millions of tickets to say thank you for Harlem. Not a sausage. Not a sausage. Not a sausage. We like sausages. Throw me a sausage, folks. Who's this? Oh, check this out. Something has happened on the... Urza Meyer has cheekily got me something on the stripe to say thank you as well. Thank you very much, Urza. I shall say thank you to you. Thank you very much indeed. On the stripes. Well done. Well done. If you don't like things... Oh, what's this? What's this? Oh, Miss Moneypenny. There we are. Miss Moneypenny bought some cups of Ribena. That's what that was. I should have looked at my email, shouldn't I? And Celeste has just joined us as a member. Thank you, Celeste. That is very kind indeed. Splendid. Splendid, splendid. Yes. Now, to continue the theme of our friend, Mr. Shaw, he played in the style of someone called Sidney Torch. And for me, Sidney Torch is absolutely and definitely the best of the best when it came to cinema organ, theatre organ music. How about George Wright, says Gunther Meiser. Coming to George Wright soon when we get onto the theatre organ. Bear with me. Hello, Gunther, by the way. Lovely to see you again. Frank Herrmann is here. Hello, Frank. Ralphie Schumacher is also here as well. It's almost boogie woogie, he said. It is really, isn't it? Now, this next piece of music is not in A flat minor. What key is it in, actually? It's in C minor. Right, this should be easy enough. This is a piece of music that I happen to know our friend Steffi Wunderlich, that's Alexander's daughter. Steffi is a she. She loves this next piece of music, and I think she's learning it on the piano. I want her to learn it on the organ. It's one of my favourites from the old day, and it's a piece of music played by my old friend, Sidney Torch. Now, I say my old friend Sidney Torch because I actually met Sidney Torch. Yes, I got to meet Sidney Torch. Sidney Torch was the guy who invented the radio show Friday Night is Music Night on BBC Radio 2, or the Home Service as it was in those days. And I got to meet Sidney Torch way at the end of his life. And I got to ask him about theatre organs. Now, everyone had told me not to ask him about theatre organs because, yeah, he didn't like the theatre organ world. But I don't know, I kind of got a bit of a connection to him. He was a very interesting chap. Nobody really liked him very much. I was quite fond of him, though. But so I dared ask him, and he just looked at me and laughed and said, "Oh, that bloody thing." Talking about the theatre organ, which I thought was quite fun. But I got him to tell me a few little bits and bobs about his theatre organ days. He loved being an organist in the day, but it went out of fashion so quickly, and there was no money in it, he said, which is why he went into orchestral composing and arranging and conducting. It made him a much wealthier character. But in his theatre organ days, he recorded this piece of music a couple of times. Once at the most amazing speed you've ever heard in your life. I'll show you that in a moment. And another time at a much more relaxed, bopping along kind of speed. It's a wonderful piece of music. I hope you enjoy it. John Ruiz is here as well. It's the Temptation Rag. Go on, folks, tempt me. The Temptation Rag. Isn't that great fun? I love that piece of music. Now, I said Sidney Torch played it at a different speed before. There's a recording of him, and I'm not joking, he plays it at this speed. And he's playing it, he plays it at that speed on an organ. It was the organ of the Gaumont State Cinema in Kilburn, North London. Geoffrey Ford, not far from you. The Gaumont State in Kilburn, and he invented that organ. Well, not invented it, but he designed that organ. But the console was so far away from the pipes, and there was a huge delay, a huge sound delay. And he was the first person ever to install something known as a performer monitor. They installed a microphone up in the organ gallery where the pipes were and had a little speaker at the console so that he could hear what he was playing. And only he was allowed to use the monitor system when he was around. All the other organists weren't allowed to use it. So they had a terrible time playing rhythmic stuff on it. And when he recorded many, many records on that organ. And when he recorded this one at that speed, it's about that speed. It's incredibly fast. And he recorded, it was not on that kind of registration, it was actually on a registration that's almost like this. Lower. That kind of style. It's absolutely amazing. And everybody said, how on earth could he have done that? Because you couldn't possibly have played at that speed with your brain catching up with it, because there was such a delay between playing the notes and then hearing the notes. There you are. Why did he play it that absurdly fast? Because he could. I once played a concert. Here, anecdote. I once played a concert in some theatre-y dive. And the piece of music I played here, one for Cam, Canadian Capers. How does it go? Something like that, isn't it? And that kind of thing, yeah? Canadian Capers. And I sat at this organ and I played it at lightning speed. And so on and so on and so on. And after the concert, some smart aleck, Yankee Doodle, some smart aleck came up to me and said, oh, why? One of those guys with the adenoid problems, probably from Essex, probably arrived at a little MG sports car and had some lovely, anyway, never, I'm not going to, you know the kind of person I mean though, the kind of person they just, is a fist magnet. They open their mouth and zoom, your fist is just attracted to it at high speed. Anyway, one of those annoying twerps with one of those voices, you know the type. Anyway, why did you play that so fast? And I just looked at him and I said, because I can. I was about 19 years old at the time and I thought, oh, bugger off. So there you are. Gerhard Lutz, thank you very much. A ticket from Gerhard. Ta. Brooks. Ah. Brooks is in love, ladies and gentlemen. Brooks wrote, can't be with you tonight, but thinking of you. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Brooks. Now we're thinking of you too. So there we are. Thank you, Brooks. That's lovely. But I love Brooks in a sense of humour. Yes, yes, yes. Sidney Torch was also the theatre organist. He was, at least this anecdote is attributed to Sidney Torch. Cinema organs, the consoles were often under the stage and they would be installed on a lift, and the organist, after the feature on screen, the organist could press a button and the organ would rise up on the lift and the organist would play to the masses. And Sidney Torch allegedly played some concert or something. There was a film, once the film was finished, he launched into, I don't know, let's say he launched into Temptation Rag, and after the first piece he whipped around on the organ bench and there were about 4 people in the audience. And he just looked at them and he said, ladies and gentlemen, I shall now return to the darkness from whence I came, or something like that. Press the down button again, it disappeared. That was it. Didn't play another piece of music. Yes, but we don't have people like that these days with senses of humor anymore, do we? Ah, such a shame. Right, 10 minutes to go until it's Alexander's birthday time. I hope you're all hanging around. Let's have, oh yes, we're going to change, of course we're going to change. We're going to change to the theatre organ, aren't we? We're going to go, not Virgil Fox, but the Wurlitzer Fox. Check speed of loading. That's the fast, that one's installed on a fast disk. And let's have some, let's make sure I've got everything on there. Yes, real theatre organ time. Now I suppose I could have played, that's the Sydney talk speed. Crazy. Isn't that wonderful? Right. More Sydney talk. Yes, let's have some more Sydney talk. This is one of my favourites again. It's another rag. It's not the Temptation rag. It's the 12th Street rag. Check this out. With the verse that nobody plays. How does it go? 1, 2, 3. Oh, the 12th Street rag, basically loosely in the style, I'm exhausted, of Mr. Sidney Tosh. Julian C, thank you very much, Julian C. And Daniel, thank you very much, Daniel as well. Oh, Daniel's from Switzerland, isn't that cute? Thank you very much, Daniel from Switzerland. Lovely. Ta. Right, now earlier on, Gunther mentioned Mr. George Wright. And George Wright, one of the best theatre organists of all time, if not definitely one of them. And George Wright, he had a wonderful, he could do it all as well. He had the slushy style of Jesse Crawford. He had the jazzy style of, well, let's say Sidney Torch. But he had his own amazing style as well. And he came up with a wonderful registration that he himself rather naughtily called the whorehouse registration, which is a sort of a gravelly sounding, it sounds like a gravelly singer. And it's great for playing. It's great for playing sort of naughty Gershwin songs like I don't know. Let's think. What could we play? Yeah, we could do that. It ain't necessarily so. I played this years ago, but I don't think I've ever played it on a theatre organ on YouTube. I don't think I have, so it's about time we did. Let's then play It Ain't Necessarily, if I can find the bloody thing. It Ain't Necessarily, where is it? There it is. It Ain't Necessarily So by the Gershwins, 1935, if memory serves me correct. And it's loosely in the style of a sort of George Wright. Yeah, it's kind of a George Wright kind of thing. Let's see what we can do. It ain't necessarily so. In a kind of, I would say more of a John Seng style, if you know who John Seng was, than the style of Mr. George Wright. Ladies and gentlemen, it's midnight. Alexander is the word you're looking for. Happy birthday, my dear friend, Alexander Wunderlich. Alexander's a grand guy who's been around in the Gartshore gang pretty much since the very, very beginning, and Alexander has always been there, and he's become a very good friend to the family as well. So Alexander, wishing you a very happy 55th birthday, a very happy 56th year on the planet coming up, and have a wonderful time. I hope you don't have to work too hard tomorrow. And I hope that your family of lovely ladies looks after you and treats you like a king, or in your case, an emperor. Yeah, you know what I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, we must sadly finish up for this evening. Vanessa has to get up at the crack of dawn tomorrow, and I am on daddy duty all week. So we're having as early a night as we possibly can. And I want to finish off this evening's concert with with a piece of jazzy music from Louis Jordan. Does anyone know who Louis Jordan is? I hope you do. By the way, just checking, there have been no more tickets since Daniel's, but that's fine. That was all right tonight. I'll let you off. I'll let you off. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was Sunday night is organ music night. We'll be back through the week with some other goodies. I apologise, my 24/7 live stream that was running in the background, it seems to have stopped for some reason, and I'm trying to work out why. It's running on a virtual server somewhere in the interweb, and for some reason it stopped running, and all afternoon today I tried to get it running again with the help of our dear friend Cassie as well, and we couldn't. So we're not sure what's going on there, so hopefully soon we'll work out what that is and we'll get it running again, because it's quite a nice little thing to have constantly running in the background. See you all very soon. Here's a wonderful piece of music from the mid-40s, I'm going to guess, from, like I say, Louis Jordan, and it's one of those doodle-a-dee-dum, ba-doodle-a-dee-dum, one of those numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4.